Hi, I'm Sarah Hodges, and you're listening to Executives Uncut, the podcast where we provide solutions for the corporate cycle of hell. And this is our intro episode. Now, each episode will be filmed live and broadcast to all major social media channels, so be sure to follow Hodges Coaching to tune in. Now, this podcast is going to be all about getting to the real pain points that leaders experience across the nation. I'll be interviewing leaders and their coaches, and then on alternate weeks, I'll be joined by Dr. Fergus Connolly, a performance coach, author, and TED Talk speaker who, quite frankly, didn't want me to say any of those things because he's so humble and awesome. And with Fergus, we'll be talking, he's laughing in the background. Hey, Justin, make sure to mute them. The fun thing about doing all of this live is that you're going to kind of see what happens in the background too, right? It's messy. We quite frankly don't really know what we're doing because this is our first time ever doing a podcast. We're super excited about it. I want to show you that things don't have to be perfect to get them done. And sometimes the desire to make them perfect gets in our way of accomplishing anything at all. So we're showing up real for you today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Fergus Connolly, my dear friend. We will be talking about the concepts of chaos that executives commonly encounter in their organizations. Fergus is here with me today. You heard him earlier. So we can now talk a little bit more about our plan. Welcome, Fergus.
Sarah, so excited.
Hey!
Wonderful introduction.
Right?
Wonderful
Oh,
introduction.
thank you. Thank you. So Fergus and I have been talking about this for months and finally got around to it, found our awesome intern, Justin, who is in the background helping us make this a reality. And yeah, we really just wanted to make it raw because both Fergus and I believe in authenticity. You know, we believe in showing up as your true self, and anything other than that can really get in your way of growth and peak performance. You know, Fergus, how would you describe authenticity?
Great question. Well, actually, if you remember, I first called you because I had left a talk that I had given, and I was walking back to the hotel with a girl. You remember the story? And
Yes.
I asked her, how did it go? And she said it was amazing, it was really good. And I said, but come on, tell me, there must be something I can improve on. And she said, well, there's only one small thing. You never showed any photographs or mentioned anything to do with girls or women. And I realized, and that hit me hard. And I realized I messed up, but I hadn't coached any, and that's when I called you. So authenticity, I think, is about, looking at your imperfect self and going, okay, this is what I'm good at. This is where I've got opportunities for improvement. We don't call them weaknesses,
Yeah.
and trying to fix them. And just, this is, and so like you said, it's about, this is, who you are, and trying to get better and not trying to hide things and not trying to create a false image. This is who you are, and how can you get better? How can you improve?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also about owning your story, owning the fact that you were like, oh shit, there's no women in anything that I am like teaching or speaking on at
Yeah,
all. And owning that and being okay with that and being like, all right, so that's how it is. Now what? Or even wondering like, okay, where did that come from? Is there a bias or, a belief that I'm holding that I don't even realize I'm holding. And sometimes that can be really helpful to us. And not that I'm saying that you do, but those are opportunities to look within. And to me, that's authenticity. It's there's a lot of
yeah,
bravery associated with it.
absolutely. And that actually crossed my mind because I was thinking, okay, I've not coached women, but is that by design or is that some subconscious avoidance? And the other thing, and one of the reasons for this podcast is you can really only explore those things if you get outside your circle and you start to listen to, other opinions, or you bounce ideas off people, or have coaches that you can bounce those ideas off. And so that's why that little experience, like, it was only a small moment, and it hit me, and I'm going, okay, I gotta figure that out. I got to address it. I got to look at it. I got to explore it in order to continue to get better.
Yeah, that takes a lot of courage, and that's what we're going to be talking about is, courageous leaders and how they can be more courageous through authenticity. So, Fergus, let's tell them a little bit though about our main objective here, which is concepts of chaos. So, I don't even remember, how do we come up with that term, concepts of chaos? Do you?
Well, Oh, it's probably my idea, but no, I
Like,
think when you no, but when you look back on some of your greatest learning moments, or achievements, or people look back and they see things they did, stepping stones or accomplishments, and they think, okay, that was a significant point or a significant achievement, but very often the source of that was a stumble, a failure, a mistake, or an uncomfortable, chaotic experience, and the success grew out of that. And the reality is, life, work, business, everything, it's always chaotic. There's always little stumbles, always. So it's how you address those and how you fix those. I think that's really what we were talking about. How you, not look forward to, but how you perceive, setbacks or those kinds of things. And then those are actually opportunities for growth that lead to an accomplishment, achievement, a stepping stone later.
yes, totally. And I think it's beneficial for our audience to know that. So each week or every on alternating weeks, we're going to take a concept that we see executives commonly face that creates chaos in their life. And we're going to examine what the catalyst was, like what led to that chaotic experience and potential solutions. So every, other week you'll be walking away with real solutions to these common, chaotic experiences. What are some of that we have on the docket? We have leading Gen Z and what can happen with leading Gen Z. What else do we have? We have risk aversion, our fear of failure.
Yeah.
I don't have them written down in front of me.
Yeah, managing diverse groups, creativity, innovation, stress, pressure, managing work-life balance, which is one that we're going to get into.
Yes.
Like we have actually we spent a lot of time going through all of the different topics and areas. I'm really excited. And the one you mentioned, Gen Z, is one that's really exciting. I think because it's more and more important coming through to understand not just this, but understanding people, and then the value, but also then the dangers of labeling as well, and perceptions that we can create.
Biases, basically, that we can deal with, which brings
Exactly.
us full circle. And it's funny. You do the same thing. We coach leaders all day long, and coaching or leading Gen Z and the difficulties with leading Gen Z. And people say millennials, but really they're talking about between 20 and 30-year-olds. But that comes up. It's a very, very common topic. And it's been fun for me to take on summer interns and take on more of a coaching role in terms of leadership. And I don't know, Justin, are you there? I hope you're having fun. I hope you're learning a lot. I want him to appear on our show once in a while, you guys, and like pop in. I think it's fun when like the person behind the scenes is like, hey, Justin, he's not going to do it. Oh, you turd. But he put a smiley face in our private chat. Anyway, Justin's completely awesome. And it's been, one thing that we're going to do as well, Fergus and I, we're going to share a lot of personal stories, ones that are not always going to be easy to share. We're going to share current struggles that we're experiencing. And we really want to take off that, pull the curtain back to continue with this analogy and let you guys see what's behind the scenes, let you guys see what's underneath the nice pretty picture that we try to paint our professional persona. So and we're going to do that to essentially try to encourage you to do the exact same thing, right? To let yourself be seen and to understand how that can be your best asset as a leader, to connect with the people who you serve, aka the people who work for you.
Absolutely, because Sarah, one of the other things is, I always say this all the time, like, I mean, the world doesn't live on Instagram. Like, not everybody's on the beach. Not everybody's driving a fast car every single day. Like, I mean, that's not reality. So This podcast is an opportunity to go, okay, this is what's really happening, and this is what either I'm struggling with, this is what I think I'm going to struggle, this is something I've got to work, or this is something that I've overcome, and here are some things that we've either learned or explored, or just share with them. What do you think, or how could I have handled that better?
Exactly. So it's been 10 minutes. I think this is a good intro, just a little sneak peek at what we're doing. What do you think, Fergus? Anything else that you want to say before we wrap up?
Now, I'm really, really excited about this, because just going through the list of things that we did earlier in the week, just discussing all of the different challenges. And the other thing that I think is really different, like you've got a very different background than I have, but there are many of the same themes have come up frequently, and also the language that we use is a little bit different. And I just don't mean accent.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even just the wording that we use, but even just the wording that we use, like I said, and that's partly again because of just environments, experiences, and how the same principle, appears in different environments, but the source is always very often the same.
Yeah,
So really
I agree.
excited.
We're very different but complementary, and I'm really excited about this too. I'm every time that we talk, I get new ideas, and I feel like we, innovate some crazy fun project like this podcast. So thank you so much for, agreeing to do it with me, and to our audience, thank you for tuning in to this intro episode of Executives Uncut. Be sure to visit hodgescoaching.com for more information and to find future podcast episodes. Again, I'm Sarah Hodges, and I'll see you guys next week.